You know what's crazy? Most people wake up every morning, and they don't even know why. They drag themselves out of bed, chase money, chase deadlines, chase approval, but deep inside, they feel empty. And here's the truth. It's not because they're lazy, it's not because they're weak. It's because they haven't found their Ikigai. Think about it. How many times have you asked yourself, what am I even doing with my life? You go to work, you come home, you scroll your phone, you sleep. Repeat. And somewhere in that cycle, your soul whispers, is this all? We live in a world that tells us success is money, fame, or status. But let me ask you, if you had all of that, yet felt no meaning, would you really call that success? Ikigai is a Japanese concept. It means a reason for being. Imagine 4 circles overlapping: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. Where all 4 meet, that's your Ikigai. That's the sweet spot where passion, skill, service, and reward come together. Imagine your life as a car. Most people drive with half a tank, sometimes even on empty. Ikigai? That's the fuel that never runs out. It's the fire that makes you jump out of bed, not because you have to, but because you want to. So ask yourself tonight, what's my Ikigai? Don't rush the answer. Let it simmer. Because once you find it, trust me, life will never feel the same again. Here's the harsh truth. Most of us confuse busyness with purpose. We think if our calendar is full, our life must be meaningful. But deep down, you know that's not true. The question is, are you living or just existing? Have you ever had that Sunday night feeling? That heavy pit in your stomach, knowing Monday is coming, and you're about to step into another week that doesn't excite you? That's not just stress. That's your soul telling you, this isn't it. We chase jobs because they're safe. We chase careers because they're respected. But what happens when the respect doesn't fill your heart? What happens when the paycheck doesn't heal your emptiness? That's when people burn out. Ikigai is the antidote. It's not about working harder, it's about working with meaning. Think of it like this. Imagine you're holding a compass. Every decision you make, career, relationships, hobbies, should point toward your true north. That true north is your Ikigai. And here's the beauty. Ikigai doesn't demand perfection. It doesn't say you must quit your job tomorrow or move to the mountains. It simply asks, are you aligning your daily actions with what makes you feel alive? So don't wait for a perfect moment. Start small. Ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today that feels closer to my Ikigai? That one step could change everything. Here's the twist. Ikigai isn't just about finding what you love. It's about facing the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes, what you love isn't enough. And that's where most people get stuck. You might love painting or writing or helping people, but then reality hits. Bills, responsibilities, expectations. Suddenly, your passion feels like a luxury you can't afford. And that's why so many dreams die young. Ikigai isn't about choosing between passion and survival. It's about weaving them together. Imagine you're holding 4 puzzle pieces: passion, what you love; mission, what the world needs; vocation, what you can be paid for; profession, what you're good at. Most people only hold 1 or 2 pieces. That's why their picture feels incomplete. Ikigai is about fitting all 4 together. Say you love fitness. You're good at motivating people. The world needs healthier lifestyles. And yes, people pay for coaching. Put those together, you've got a career, a mission, and a passion all in one. That's Ikigai. So don't just ask, what do I love? Ask, how can I connect what I love with what I'm good at, what the world needs, and what pays me back? That's the formula. That's the path. That's Ikigai. You want proof that Ikigai works? Let me tell you a story. A man who almost gave up, but found his reason for being, and turned his struggle into victory. A young boy in Brazil, broke, living in poverty. He loved football more than anything. But his family struggled to put food on the table. Most people around him said, forget the dream. Get a job. Be realistic. That boy was Pelé. Before he became a legend, he was just a kid kicking a sock stuffed with rags because he couldn't afford a real ball. He didn't play for fame. He didn't play for money. He played because football was his Ikigai, his reason for being. He trained endlessly, even when his body ached. He believed his gift wasn't just for himself, but for the world. At 17, he shocked the world in the 1958 World Cup, scoring goals that lifted Brazil to victory. From poverty to global icon, his Ikigai carried him through. Pelé's story teaches us, Ikigai doesn't erase struggle. It gives you the strength to fight through it. When you know your reason for being, rejection doesn't break you. Poverty doesn't define you. Fear doesn't stop you. Now let's talk about someone you definitely know. A man who failed more times than he succeeded, who was laughed at, rejected, and told he wasn't good enough. Yet today, his name is recognized across the world. His secret? Ikigai. A young boy in Kentucky, poor, struggling with dyslexia. Teachers said he wasn't smart. Casting directors said he wasn't talented. He tried acting but was rejected over and over again. At one point, he was so broke he slept in his car. That man was Sylvester Stallone. Before Rocky became a global phenomenon, Stallone was rejected by hundreds of studios. He was told his face wasn't right, his speech wasn't clear, his style wasn't marketable. But Stallone refused to give up. He wrote the script for Rocky in just 3 days. Studios wanted to buy it, but he refused unless he could play the lead role himself. He was broke, desperate, even had to sell his dog to survive, but he held on to his Ikigai. Finally, one studio agreed. Stallone starred in Rocky, and the film became a cultural icon. It won Oscars, inspired millions, and turned Stallone into a legend. Later, he even bought back his dog, the same one he had to sell during his struggle. His story proves, Ikigai isn't about instant success. It's about holding on when the world says no. It's about believing your reason for being is bigger than rejection, bigger than failure, bigger than fear. So when you feel like giving up, remember Stallone. Remember Pelé. Remember that Ikigai is the fire that keeps you alive when everything else tries to put you out. This was Mind Sketchbook, your space for psychology, brain habits, and motivation. If these stories moved you, subscribe and stay with us. Because here, we don't just talk motivation, we sketch the blueprint for your best life.